So the news today is there was an earthquake in Melbourne this morning around 9:15, and it was quite a big one for Melbourne. We don't usually get earthquakes. It went for a few seconds. The walls were rattling, pictures fell off my bookshelf. Wei was freaked out, and then all the neighbours ran out into the car park in front of the flats. So I thought I'd have a look and see what's going on with this earthquake. It started in Mansfield, which is about 130 k's out of Melbourne. And here's the chart. And first thing we can see is South Node conjunct the ascendant at 4 degrees Sag. So in some ways this is karmic. There's some karmic thing come up. South Node on the ascendant also shows a kind of a diminishing of your stature in some way, a shift in your personality where you're drawn in a bit. But in terms of big picture astrology, which is what it's like when you're looking at a city or a town or a country, South Node on the ascendant is something that had to happen, some sort of pressure that had to be released. And potentially, that's a karmic adjustment. With earthquakes, you look for Uranus, and there it is in Taurus. We know it's been in Taurus for a long time, and because Taurus is a really stable earth sign, whenever Uranus is travelling through it, it's one of those indications of earthquakes. And in fact, when Uranus entered Taurus, that was when the Kilauea volcanoes happened in Hawaii. So here we are, Uranus is here, and it's opposite Venus in Scorpio in the 12th house. And straight up, one thing I could say about this, Venus in Scorpio in the 12th is masks. It just reminds me of having to wear a mask. And it's opposite Uranus, disruption in the building industry, which is Taurus, construction. And this makes me think how it's linked to the full moon that we had last night, but also to the construction workers' protests, that the industry's been shut down for 2 weeks while there's been a mandate for all construction workers to have 2 vaccinations. And that's come up because there seems to be a lot of spread through construction sites and other at-risk industries like nursing homes and hospitals, teachers. They're already well on the road to this same sort of thing. But anyway, there was a massive demonstration in Melbourne yesterday and the day before, and that's what I reckon this is, and somehow linked to our earthquake. Something else I've just seen here too. There's Eris, which is protest and discord. She's in the 6th house in Aries, and she is opposite Mercury over here in Libra in the 12th. So that's another indication of that seething undercurrent of discord. Oh, and it's square Pluto. So that makes it really deep, the real underbelly of that stuff. If we look at the core place, the sort of the bottom of the chart, what's at the bottom of the chart, the base of this earthquake scenario? And we've got Jupiter in Aquarius. And to me, that's not only the memes that came out from everywhere and the instant humour that happened, but the way this earthquake has spread throughout the world. Although, no one's been injured, thank goodness. And it seems damage hasn't been very severe, like potentially only one place. The other difficult aspect we've got in this one is here Mercury, which is square Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn, representing big business, power structures, and a transformation in those areas. For this earthquake, Pluto's in the 3rd house, which is around transport and communication. And we are in lockdown at the moment, which might be why this earthquake's, created such a buzz. Mercury square Pluto shows that disruption and potentially explosive movement. Again, I can't help thinking about that disruption to movement also showing up in the protests where 2,000 people that attended were able to block a freeway and the Westgate Bridge. earthquakes, you'd probably also want to look at Mars and Saturn. And there they are, they're linked. And they're linked by a positive flow. But if we're looking at earthquakes, this might mean aftershocks. We talked about in the Pisces full moon video, Mars and the Sun together. When they're together, it's really kind of macho. The Sun gets an idea and the Mars just puts it in action. And they've separated a bit now, but while that's together, it's also the Sun, any planet close to the Sun tends to sort of blot it out. And that makes this suppressed rage and misdirected action. And I would see that also with the construction workers' anti-mandate for vaccination protests and the heavy-handed way that the police have responded. Mars has also got this flowing trine link over here to the North Node. The North Node is on the descendant. There's the descendant. The South Node is there on the ascendant, rising sign. North Node on the descendant actually is pretty good luck. It shows there's a lot of internal support, and in Gemini it's communication, it's safe, it's getting conversation happening. And it probably also indicates lockdown, where we're confined to just small groups and our neighbourhood, our local neighbourhood, which is Gemini. And that forward push is actually into an internal place. So it's quite paradoxical. So on a big esoteric picture, I'd almost say some of the pressure that's built up from lockdown and the frustrations that have been brewing, potentially in macho industries and from wearing masks and what has been masked, has created a shift in the earth. So there's my take on the earthquake today. If you've picked up anything else, put it in comments. I'm Meryl Key, and this is my mystery school. Like, follow, share, and subscribe.